I'm Kate.
And I'm Kari, and we're midwives at Northwest Private Maternity. The role of a midwife is to take care of women during their pregnancy, labour and birth, but it's actually a lot larger than that. The main role of a midwife really is to place the woman and her family in the centre of all the care that she receives. What I enjoy most about my role in the Know My Midwife program is the continuity of care. I really enjoy seeing the women throughout their pregnancy and during their labour and birth if that's possible, and particularly then on the postnatal ward. I feel that continuity of care sets up women and their families to transition to parenthood. So the Know My Midwife program, we see women at around the 20 weeks of pregnancy. That's when they first come in to see us as their initial appointment. That first appointment is a comprehensive visit. We get to know them, their expectations in pregnancy, labour and birth, and then we see them in any number of visits that they require up until their labour and birth, and it really is tailor-made to meet the needs of the women that we see. So in that first comprehensive visit, we have a plan of care for them, and then obviously when they come in and see us, we can work through all of their concerns, their worries, and help them plan for their labour and birth, their expectations for that. And then the joy that I get out of the Know My Midwife program particularly is seeing women when they come back after they've had their baby, and just seeing the growth and the confidence that they have in mothercrafting with their new infant. It's really enjoyable for me.
Yeah, I really enjoy that part of it too. It's so lovely to be there for the birth of a baby and then to be able to see that baby grow over those first 6 weeks. And also just the fact that we have, the spoiler physios and lactation consultants, so we can, see those women and their babies, the families, watch them grow and then help give them any support that they need over that first 6 weeks as well. And I guess that, the hardest part of that transition to parenthood is.
The important fact for me when I'm caring for a woman is knowing that her support family, her support network is essential for her well-being. So it's really important for me to engage the people that she considers her family, to have them involved in her care and involved in the choices and delivery of that care as well. So I really enjoy it when the partners and the families come in with the women to the Kim clinic. It allows us to get to know them and their needs too, because we know that if we support the support person, then the woman is going to be well cared for.
It's a wonderful thing to be able to be part of the Kim program with the attitude that all the midwives that do the Kim program have, which is just that support of the family. And it's really lovely just to be a part of something where, we can give so much education and nurturing to the families as well. And, if the partner comes along for the visit, then they can ask just as many questions and be really involved in planning and preparing for the birth of the baby. And then afterwards too, in caring for the baby as well.
Some information and documents that the women receive before they come into the Know My Midwife program. As part of that comprehensive visit, I remind them of that information that they've received, quickly have a look through it to highlight the main topics that are in there, and then ask them to go home. A bit of homework when they get home for themselves and for their family is to start having a read of those documents, having a look at the information that's in there, and come back with questions and concerns that they might have, so that we can actually delve into it a little bit deeper. So usually in the next visit that we see after that first one, labour and birth is usually the discussions that we have, and that's regardless of mode of delivery. There are always questions that women and families have. So we're able to actually just deconstruct it a little bit, have a look at the elements that they're comfortable with and those that they need more information and education on. So usually that's what we would consider an antenatal class for labour and birth. And in subsequent visits we can do some parenting classes as well. So we actually have baby dolls that we get out. We practice with the nappies and wrapping and how do you hold babies in the bath, and also allowing them to know that there are resources online that they can have a look at. There's a lot of community information out there, so we really set them up for success with a lot of that information on not only pregnancy, labour and birth, but then once they have their tiny human they get to take home, how to adequately and confidently care for that baby.
I think at the Kim program we give people lots of information which is tailored to suit their needs. So whether they are, vaginal delivery or a Caesar, no matter what the expectation or the outcome is, we feel like they're fully prepared and they've had that time with the midwife to sit there and ask all those comprehensive questions that they might need the answer to. And it really gives them, the best possible way to feel like they're informed, that they know the answers answers to all the questions that they have. When we used to do the antenatal classes, sometimes people would be afraid to put their hand up and ask a question in front of everyone, whereas in this space it's just a private space between us, you know, the woman and her partner, and they can ask any question with no judgment.
And I find that the partners, when they're coming into the Know My Midwife program, I'm probably getting more questions from them in the program than I did when we taught the group classes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just that safe space to be able to ask the questions. A lot of women will come in and they say, oh, I have a silly question. They're my favourite because they're never silly. So we treat those with respect. And obviously give them the information that's very reassuring for them moving forward. Yeah, the Know My Midwife program has grown exponentially at Northwest Private, and I think that really shows that the women are accessing the care and that they're enjoying the care just as much as we're enjoying providing it. So that's a real positive for the program. The appointments, you can actually access those through the maternity navigator, or you can call the hospital directly for the appointments. Usually the first visit that we see just after that 20 weeks is an hour and a half, and then subsequent appointments antenatally are an hour, which is really lovely to be able to have that time and space to care for women. And then postnatally the visits initially are 1 hour for that first, okay, you've got your new baby, how's it going? And then after that, half-hour appointments. And we see women from that 20 weeks all the way up to when their baby is 6 weeks of age.
We also do visit 8 p.m. at night and Saturdays as well. So if women were wanting to come in with their partner after work, especially in, you know, those women that haven't gone on maternity leave yet, they're both still working and they'd like to come in together, we really feel like we're supportive.